Hi there, and it's superheroes this week. Next week's Star Wars, obviously. And this week's superhero video, we are discussing the possibility of will we see the cosmic entities appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, for those of you who are not aware of the cosmic entities of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, let me break it down for you. So, with all the others, mortals, there's things, there's Thanos and all that, there's villains, the Shi'ar aliens. But within the Marvel Universe, and you even see the head of one in Guardians of the Galaxy with Nowhere. Nowhere is the head of a cosmic being. We even saw one briefly in a flashback using the Power Stone in the Guardians of the Galaxy. But the cosmic beings all generally represent some version, something of the universe, something above the norm. And the way it breaks down is this: the one that is above all in the cosmic universe of Marvel is one above all, is responsible for the existence of all life in the Marvel universe and possibly beyond that. He's literally God. He is there. I mean, there are gods, but he is literally the creator of everything. No one can, even with the Infinity Gauntlet, you don't match up to this guy at all. Then there was, and you're have to get. I have the list up here right now. Even I don't know all of them. That's why I had to get it up. Then you have the Living Tribunal, he judges basically all of the cosmic entities to ensure that they are obeying their laws. He is the one. Living Tribunal is essentially the one who is above the four big cosmic entities. There's four main aspects of the universe. There's death, eternity, oblivion, and infinity, which we'll all get to in a second, or which we'll get to all of them in a second. But the Living Tribunal, more or less, and he was after his death, which he was eventually killed, I believe, by Thanos, as a matter of fact. Was he the higher is believed to be the creator of all things, one and has been referred to as Tribunal, is considered the most powerful. He is the most powerful of all the cosmic entities. Before they can act, his three faces. That's right. He has three faces. Each are slightly represent a different value: necessity, vengeance, and equality, or equity. It rules over basically all the infinite universes as well. Living Tribunal's body is present in each of the universes. So it's interesting. But he was eventually killed. I believe he was killed by Thanos in some way, shape, or form. He is the one above. The only one above him is the one above all. He was replaced by Adam Warlock. Nemesis, who is basically the being who actually created the Infinity Gems. Who, I'll be honest, I actually don't know much about. I mean, there's a Nemesis in, that's what Nemesis looks like? It looks like Deadpool wearing a cape. Nemesis has a lot of different, forms, so I can't tell you what Nemesis really looks like. Besides the one that seemed to be the most common was Deadpool wearing a cape. But Nemesis is essentially the one that is a being formed when Nemesis is a being who is formed when the 77 Infinity Gems come together. My bad, that's a reading error on my part. But then you get the four actual cosmic beings themselves. You get the beyond. You get Eternity, who is Eternity is more or less a humanoid figure, and each represent an aspect of the universe. I believe Eternity is the humanoid figure who essentially looks like space with the cosmos and everything playing out in it, and the plug-in, I hate that, stop plug-in. Yeah, basically it looks like space in the form of a human being. He's got plants all around like a star makes up one of his eyes, and he essentially is, again, all these individuals are omnipotent and all-powerful in some way. Entity is part of the small cosmic pantheon that represents the three essential forces, universe being equity, necessity, and vengeance. Now, that being said, going to Thanos, because Thanos, Infinity Gauntlet, these guys played a huge role in the Infinity Wars. He did rise above infinity after a certain point, eternity. Death is the one that Thanos is in love with. She represents all the embodiments of death in the universe, ending, whatnot. Infinity represents the concepts of space, along with eternity, and by space-time continuum. Infinity represents time more than space, whereas eternity represents space more over than time. And takes the form of a woman. But yes, and death and infinity take the form of women, whereas oblivion and eternity both take on the form of men, I believe. Yeah, his appearance is male. But he's an embodiment of essentially nothingness that everything came from and will eventually return to. He's the other half of the coin, essentially, from death, who represents, the end of being. Essentially, in what I'm getting right now, is kind of looks like death a little bit, but a male version of it with a cloak covering his face and whatnot. All of them, and then you get other beings such as the Beyonder, who is a reality warper, Master Order. Galactus is a cosmic being. Silver Surfer is a cosmic being, but a Lord of Chaos. So you get a bunch of other guys. But what I'm talking about basically in this video is the major pantheon of them. The four major ones: Eternity, Infinity, Death, and Oblivion, Living Tribunal, and the one above all. The question becomes, do we see these guys in the Marvel Universe, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I'm going to say yes, but I don't know if we'll see all of them. We're not going to see Galactus because they don't own Galactus, as far as we know. There's been dealings with Fox and Marvel, but we have no idea if they've received Fantastic Four back right now. And even if he did, if Galactus is going to play a part in that at all, which would be weird because you have to set him up in some ways. Like Galactus just suddenly appears. But death, I think, is a given. Death is a given in this Marvel Universe, that we see death. Because that's what Thanos is trying to get the Infinity Gauntlet for. He's trying to, court death, make death fall over them by killing the universe and doing all that stuff with the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, is Hela I like to personally believe that Cate Blanchett, because you don't get Cate Blanchett for just one role. I don't think you're going to kill her either. Or not just one role. One movie, but she's a god. She's the ruler of hell, basically. So Hela may very well, I think, be the embodiment of death in this universe. I'm just saying, maybe. Now, do we see the other ones? Do we see Eternity? Do we see Oblivion? Do we see Infinity? It's tough because Oblivion and Infinity are really the lesser known of the two. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the four of them, half of these guys are actually pretty prominent in the pop culture and all that. Well, pop culture. Death, very much so. Infinity comes in, or Eternity comes in second. In Oblivion, I don't think anyone really thinks on Oblivion that much. And Infinity, again, I don't think anyone thinks on her very much. But Eternity and Death are the big ones. Death, I think, is a given. I think Death is pretty much guaranteed. Eternity, I think, is a very strong possibility. Given the illusions, because I think they hinted at it with Ant-Man when he goes into the quantum realm. With Doctor Strange, I'm pretty sure it's hitting that. We may see something in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So I think it's very possible. But let's say, if we don't see all of them, I think those are the safe two the bet that we're going to see. The other ones, though, Infinity and Oblivion, I'm not certain on. Now that said, let's say for the sake of that we do get those characters. First off, opening up a whole new can of worms with those. You better hope that makes sense in the movie, because otherwise we are going to get lost real quick. But then, do we get the Living Tribunal? Here's the thing. I really don't think we're getting the one above all. I don't think you're really essentially going to introduce God among anything else here. The Living Tribunal? That's a tough one. Because it hinges on if we get all of them. If we get all of them, then there's the possibility of getting the Living Tribunal. But if we don't get all of them, then I don't see us getting the Living Tribunal at all. Because he monitors all four aspects, not just the two. So, excuse me. But let's say again we get all four. Do we get the Living Tribunal? I'm actually going to say no, we don't get the Living Tribunal, because I think it's a lot for audiences to take in these cosmic beings. So if you just bring these four cosmic beings right here, it's like, okay, we got these guys now. It's like, wow, okay, that's a lot to take in. Then you bring in the three-faced Living Tribunal that judges all of them, make sure they're doing what they're doing. Then it starts to get a little convoluted really fast. Like, what is going on here right now? And I don't mean that for us fans. Us fans know exactly what's happening. But let's be clear, us fans make up a very small majority, or a very small minority of the movie-going population when we go see these Marvel movies. The Marvel movies are tailored to are supposed to be tailored to everyone, not just the comic book fans. Yeah, they try to stick to a very good portion of the comic lore and source so the fans can be happy and they can get a good story going. But we're not the ones who are making the bank here for them. Let's take Doctor Strange. If it was just comic book fans, all of us, who had gone in there, in the world, mind you, in the world, who had gone to see Doctor Strange, the movie might have worldwide made about $50 million or something like that at $10 a ticket. I mean, 100 at most, if lucky. It would not have been a great deal. That's why you got to market these things to people, which is why Doctor Strange is also doing really well. It's crossed over. I mean, among all the other, it's already crossed $500 million. So it's doing bank right now. But the question is posed, do we get the cosmic entities? I think we're getting some of the cosmic entities in the upcoming movies. Hela's a debatable one if she's actually Death in this universe. I think she actually is. I think that would be the smart way to go about it. But introducing the other ones like Eternity and stuff like that, it's difficult, not impossible, but difficult, because you need to go in the cosmic realm. You need to be introduce them in movies like Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel, also Captain Marvel, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, in the movies that deal with space or sorcery or magic, things along those lines. Those are the movies you have to introduce them in. And when we look at like the roster coming up, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but we have Spider-Man Homecoming and Thor Ragnarok. Right on! So Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I would be willing to definitely bet that we have some references to these characters coming up. But after that, you got Black Panther. I think you get the first Infinity War, and then you get Ant-Man and the Wasp. The only one you're really going to get a cosmic entity is Infinity War Part 1. Well, it's Infinity War, then whatever the next Avengers movie is, plus Miss Marvel. So it's about balance, and if you can work it into the story, which you're bringing the Infinity Gems, Thanos, Death is his thing, so we're going to see Death. You bring this in, I got to assume we're going to see some of the cosmic entities. Maybe not all of them, but definitely some of them. Eternity will be really cool to see if we see Eternity among any of them. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this a little bit. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who wins or what ifs. Put those in the comments below. I do get to them. I put them on the list and I write them down. I'll be back in a little bit with my magic video for today. And tonight will be Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.